Hi everybody. So in this video, it's a very basic video and it's for those of you who have never ever placed a bet before. We'll look at coral to start with, and this will be for your first offer that you've ever done if you've never placed a bet with an online bookmaker before, or indeed with an exchange before. The first time you do it can be a little bit nerve-wracking, but it's really straightforward, and hopefully this walkthrough will just give you a bit more confidence and make it a bit easier to do. So the sign-up offer with Coral is to place a £5 bet and then you get a £20 free bet. So the initial £5 bet we'll place, we'll usually make a very small loss on that bet, but then we'll have the £20 free bet to come. So the odds on the qualifying bet, the initial £5 bet, need to be above 1.5. So what we're going to do is look at some upcoming football matches and find a match where there's a team which has odds of around probably between about 1.5 and 2.5. So coming up this weekend, there are actually no Premiership matches because the FA Cup's on. So I'm going to look at the matches for the FA Cup. Some of these smaller sides I wouldn't necessarily bet on if it was in, League 2, League 1. But because it's the FA Cup, it's quite a big tournament in England. There's a lot to bet on in there, so that's absolutely fine. So let's have a look for one around here. There's a couple here. We've got Bristol City at 1.73. We've got Burnley at 1.5, which is perfect. If we look at this one, Millwall Newport, that's not so good because the odds for Millwall are 1.4, that's too low. And then the draw and Newport 4.5 and 8, they're a little bit high. So these two are probably going to be the best. Bristol City at 1.73 or Burnley at 1.5. So what we'll do then is to go onto the exchange and have a look at what the lay odds are, or to back against those teams on the exchange. Now, the exchange that I use most often is Smarkets. The reason for that is that I have a 0% commission deal on there. And there's some information about how you can get that 0% commission. If you're on my website, if you're on my newsletter, have a look, or send me an email and I'll talk you through how to get that 0%. You can use Betfair, that's another good exchange. So we wanted to look at either Bristol or Burnley. So you can see on here, we've got the FA Cup being played on Saturday. Bristol City here. The green odds here are the back odds, so we're not interested in those in the exchange. What we're interested in is these odds on the right, the lay odds. So Bristol City is 1.82 and Burnley is at 1.57. So I think the Burnley is closer. So we've got a back odds on Coral of 1.5 and a lay odds on Smarkets of 1.57. I'll just go into that match so it makes it a bit clearer and gets rid of all the other ones. So again, these ones on the left, the green ones, we're not interested in. They're the back odds. What we're looking at is these lay odds here. So if we go on to our calculator, now this is the calculator from Profit Maximizer. Those of you that know me, I'm a very big fan of Profit Maximizer. I use it every day. But there are loads of calculators. There's a free one on Odds Monkey. There's a few others online that are all free. You can easily find one of these and they're all the same. So the initial sign-up offer, we're doing a £5 bet as a qualifying bet. So our bet amount is £5. Our back odds here, just check back there on Coral. And we were looking at Burnley Peterborough. So we'll go into that match there. Take a few seconds just to load up. So Burnley are at 1.5. So our back odds are 1.5. Just check back then onto Smarkets. And our lay odds here are 1.57. So you'll put that into your calculator as 1.57. Just make sure that the bet type here is set to qualifier. That's what we always use for the initial bets. And the stake not returned is what we use for the free bets. But for this qualifying bet, we're just looking at a qualifier. If you're using Betfair, or if you're on Smarkets with the commission, you would put your lay commission in here, which would be in at 2%. So you just add in the 2 there. I'm going to leave that one out for mine at the moment. So what we can see here now, just clicking the calculate, is that our lay stake will be £4.78. our lay liability will be £2.72. And on that initial £5 bet, we'll make a loss of 22p and we'll have a £20 free bet still to come. So that to me is an acceptable loss, 22p, it's not bad. If you went through all of the odds and all of the matches, if you did it much closer to kick-off time, you'd probably find odds that were a little bit closer. But for the sake of 10, 15p, I'm just going to go with these ones now. So now we're going to place the actual bets. Before you place bets on either side, make sure that you've got enough money in your accounts. So you need at least £5 in coral for your initial bet. And you need, for your lay liability, you need at least £2.72. So I'd say make sure you've got maybe £10 in your exchange. So to place your bet onto coral, if we go through onto here we go, is Burnley at 1.5. So all you do is simply click on that. You'll see that will go green. Well, that's given me £1 on a casino offer. That's quite nice. So Burnley at 1.5, that will go green. And then if we scroll back up, on the right-hand side here in your bet slip at the top there, you'll see Burnley, odds of 1.5, and our stake is going to be £5. So our return there is £7.50. And then all you do is simply click the bet now. It takes a couple of seconds, and then that's it, you're done. So you can see they're done. So that bet on Coral is now placed. So now we have to make sure that we lay the bet. So here we've got this, it's still at 1.57. So we'll click on the odds there. Just double check the amounts on here. So our lay stake is going to be £4.78. So we'll go back onto Smarkets, and then there in our bet stake, we've got £4.78, odds of 1.57, and you can see up here, the liability is £2.73. So you simply place bet. On the exchanges, you'll always need to confirm the bet. And I've been caught out on this once. It only happened once, and I didn't make the same mistake again. Always just make sure you confirm the bet. And that's done. And you'll see that up here, bet is fully matched against Burnley. So that's it for your initial bet. You've placed your £5 bet on Coral. You've laid it on Smarkets. Once those bets are settled, you will have lost 22p, which I'll show you on here. And then you'll have your free £20 bet to come, which you'll do exactly the same thing. Place on Coral, lay on Smarkets or Betfair. You'd use much higher odds for that one. And then you'll come away with a profit. So hopefully that's given you a clear idea of how you place that first bet. It's really, really straightforward. So in total, you'll be placing 4 bets, 2 for the initial bet, a back and a lay, 2 for the free bets, a back and a lay bet, and then you'll come out with your profit. So yeah, hopefully that's made it a little bit clearer for you. If you do have any questions, feel free to send me an email or get in touch with me. I'll do my best to help you. But otherwise, I would say get cracking and do your first bets. The best way to learn match betting is just by doing it. And then when you're doing it, you're learning and you're earning money at the same time. So yeah, get cracking. If you're not signed up for my newsletter, then go over to my website and sign up. And there's some really good information and really good tips on there. Feel free to contact me if you've got any questions. And yeah, let's get making some money. And good luck with it.